we'll just talk about why one should do the CAT. So I wanted to talk about, there are a lot of small things that add up to something big, right? So first of all, there are three possible paths for any of us. Okay, either we go into further education as a graduate, or we take up a job, or we start something of our own. Okay, so if you're going for further education, then of course you're still with us. But if you're going for a job or if you're starting your own business, you'll wonder, okay, yeah, why do I need an MBA? Right? I'll just work. I know how to code, let us say, or I know how to, manage operations in a manufacturing unit. Why do I need to do an MBA? Why not just straight away go and do my job or straight away go and start my venture? Okay, so here I want to talk about what kind of work and what kind of business you want to get into. So, irrespective of कोई भी path आप लोगे, education पकड़ के, right? There are basically two possible ways, right, in which you will work. So, one is, let's say you are a research scientist, right? I'm sure abhi you are wondering, research scientist ये कहाँ से आ गया? So one is, of course, when you're a research scientist, let us say, or you are an options trader sitting at your desk, starting at 9 o'clock every day. As soon as the market closes off, you are, you also just shut off your computer, you come back home. So these kind of jobs, guys, I would say these are hard skills jobs. Okay, इसमें hard skills लगते हैं. So you need to be good at your area. So as a research scientist, if you're into biotechnology, right, you have to be good at this. If you're an options trader, you have to know your financial fundays well, right? You need to know your Black-Scholes, you need to know your basic, usse koi chutkara nahi, you need to know your stuff. And there's a good chance that you will be working individually. So that is what hard skills is about. अगर आप ये area से belong करते हैं, then मैं आगे से बोल रही हूँ, please leave. MBA is not for you, right? Because you just need to be good at your content. You just need to be good at your area of specialization. And that area of specialization you can become good at by getting into further education. So whether it is an MS, right, or a PhD, correct? So you don't need to get into an MBA to become good at hard skills. अब आई वांट टू आस्क यू, ऐसे कितने लोग हैं जिसको ये क्लैरिटी है कि फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई हैव अ स्ट्रॉन्ग एरिया ऑफ स्पेशलाइजेशन. हर कोई रिसर्च साइंटिस्ट नहीं बन सकता. देयर आर लॉट ऑफ पीपल, राइट, हु आर इंटरेस्टेड इन let's say chemistry, but to become a research scientist, right, of some repute, you need to have it as a very strong area of specialization, right? You are good at it, you like it, you want to do it. So how many of us have this clarity, this strength, right? I would say less than 10% of the population. So there are less than 10% of us, right, who will be working more or less alone. So when I'm a research scientist with a lab, or I'm a research scientist with an organization, right, I could be working for one of the pharmaceutical companies. I am working alone trying to come out with a patent, okay? And it's individual work. People who are into some sort of derivatives trading, debt trading, they are also usually they're working by themselves. They may use research papers of others, but they are not really interacting with others. So ये ऐसे लोग बहुत ही कम होते हैं. For majority of the population, whether you do your job, whether you get into your own business, or even if you're doing education, you are thinking of getting into some job, some field, some business where you will have to interact with people. Right? Now, when you're interacting with people, what skill do you need? You need to be good at soft skills. Interaction with people, मुझे बताओ कौन सा कोर्स है and in your graduation that tells you how to interact with people, how to manage people, how to lead people, how to communicate effectively. ऐसा कौन सा course है? All courses अभी तक जो आपने किए हैं, right? They are focusing on some area of knowledge, like a BCom, right? Or a BE engineering, or even if you're looking at a BA economics or BA psychology, there's always an area, right, of specialization that is the focus. Till you are a graduate, there is no program that focuses on how to work, how to manage, how to lead people. It would be great, right, if there would be a soft skill program that is training you to lead people, to communicate well, right? Well, actually, there is. So that soft skills program, guys, is your MBA. So when we talk about an MBA, right, the focus is on masters. ये MBA आता है यहाँ से, Masters in Business Administration. Okay, so the focus is not on communication. The focus is not on people. यहाँ तो business लिखा है. But believe me, guys, MBA is the best course, right, for people management. And where does it start from? It starts from your batch. It starts from doing, project work, case studies. The entire program, guys, is geared up to put you in a place where you are very, very comfortable with other people, where you know what you are, you know what other people are, and you know how to get the max out of people. So naam to hai business. In fact, it's very interesting that Masters in Business Administration, this is not the degree that anybody offers. The IIMs, for example, they offer their flagship program is PGDM. It's a postgraduate diploma in management. Right? Then they have executive management programs. IIM Calcutta, for example, also has a PGDCM. So postgraduate diploma in computers, computer management. So that's a system-oriented course. Right? So it's really the best program, right, to become adept at soft skills. Now you'll wonder, okay, why do I need to get into soft skills? Why is it that I straight away can't pick up a job and learn while I'm on the job? That's a valid question, right? Okay, we can just pick up a job and learn while we are on the job. Okay, so let's see what are the issues. The thing is that as of right now, the way our curriculum is designed, right, the way we have all been taught, right, the way we have done our internships, whatever the few of us who have been able to do internships while we are learning, right, the current status is that we are unemployable. Most of us, if you see, India is full of unemployable engineers and graduates. So forget the effect that a lot of people are unemployed. A lot of people are underemployed. So what they can actually, they may be doing a job, but they are not really realizing their full potential. If you see the National Employability Report, guys, 80% plus, more than 80% engineers in India are unemployable. So there's no clear job that can be offered to them. There is no clear area they have, right, where they could work. There is no clear skill set that they have. So this is one that as of right now, what you know, right, what degree you have, unless you are in the very top college, unless you have really excelled academically, and by excelled I'm really talking about top 1%, then you will fall in this category where you'll either be unemployed or you'll be underemployed. Okay, so this is one part. Second, companies do believe in hiring MBAs. So given a choice, right, given two people who walk in for an interview and one is just an engineer, the other is an engineer plus MBA, or forget engineer plus MBA, right? A BCom plus MBA. A company will go for this person primarily because the company knows that, yeah, this person has had some experience in handling people. So 81% companies, guys, hire MBA graduates. 52% give hike, right, to their MBA employees. They plan to hike up the MBA starting base salaries also. So ये दोनों चीज अगर आप conjunction में देखते हो, साथ में देखते हो, what does it mean? It means that to become employable, to have a greater chance of getting a job, an MBA is a must. And this is not just true for jobs, right? अभी आप बोलोगे कि अरे I want to start off my own business. How does a job make any difference? I will learn all this while I'm doing my business. Arey, but your business is where you're going to invest your money, yourself, which means your time, right? And if you're doing all this, then you want quick returns. You want optimum returns. Why will you learn on the job when you can learn beforehand and apply the best practices on your job, on your business, sorry, right? So, as I said, getting all these things together, it makes complete sense that unless you want to get into a hard skill, if you're getting into a hard skill, guys, I'm pretty okay. I want to say bye to you. But if you're not, if you're looking at any work, any business where you have to deal with people, where you have to negotiate some buying price, some selling price, right? Where you have to manage a whole team and come out with a project on time. For that, an MBA is, I would go ahead and say, in fact, compulsory. It just increases your chance tremendously. And think about it, guys. अभी तक जो आपने life में किया है, correct? Whether it is your 10th standard, whether it's your 12th standard, whether it's your graduation, who decided what you're going to do? Did you decide? Unlikely, right? So now, when you know what the market is like, now that you know what you want to do in the long term, now that you know for the next uh, at least 40 years, you all are going to do some job or the other, or you are going to work either at your business or job or whatever in some capacity, you would want these 40 years to be rewarding. Right? Why would you take a downfall on this 40 years that you're going to work? You should and must, right, consider an MBA. So, what are the other advantages? Now we'll look at the advantages, and I have a long list of them. What are the advantages of doing an MBA? So, one is that you network and make friends with similar people. 2 years that you are going to spend doing your MBA, right? You're going to spend with people who are similar in aspirations but who are still a little diverse. So, I'm going to talk about diversity again in cultural knowledge, right? But these people who are similar and diverse are going to go out and conquer the world in some sense, right? So you're going to network with these people who, when you pass out, are more or less, you are going on different paths, but you're still in a similar zone. But imagine 10 years later, correct? 10 years later, you all will be doing diverse things in diverse cities, and you will have a network that cannot be made by just exchanging cards in a coffee shop. You'll have a network where you will be with people, right, with whom you have put a night out, with whom you have done a last minute, project submission. That kind of friendships cannot be made, right, while staying at home and just going for a graduation program. So first and foremost, it's the network of the peer group. You will see the global view of things. So as of right now, when you are just a graduate, right, you will be seeing things a little locally. You'll be seeing effects, right? So for example, when you look at Corona and its effects, you will mostly be looking at what is happening, maybe, to your locality, what is happening to your city. But to understand what is happening to the world, to be able to predict what is going to happen 3-4 months later. Of course, Corona is really an unusual example, and it's not easy to do such things for something like a pandemic. But still, people who have seen how things affect not just a particular aspect, but marketing hai, right? How it will affect demand, how an absence of demand for 1 month can lead to an absence of demand in some other sector. How will that overall affect the economy? All that you will be able to do when you have done your MBA, right? So you're not just looking at one aspect, at one locality, you're seeing the global view of things. And by global, I don't mean location wise also, right? I mean the view on all aspects of things. You will be able to redefine, right, the cultural knowledge that you have. So as of right now, like most of us, right, when we are doing our graduation, when we are doing our schooling, we are in our city, in a similar group of people. But when you go and do your MBA nationally, right, you have people coming from across the country. I would say if it's a good college, you will have people coming from across the world. There's an international exchange program. So what you know about people, right, really changes. Abhi, you may say, "Kare, I have friends of different communities here also in my city," but you will not really understand their culture till you spend time with them. Spending half an hour with someone while you are in college doesn't really constitute spending time. So, of course, with good friends, you end up spending a lot of good time. But here, the concept of a good friend will itself be one level up, right? The first thing that you learn in an MBA is that you don't know everything. So some of us may actually go in with some cockiness, right? So that disappears. You understand that, oh, there is so much more to learn. And that's a very, very exciting part of your life. And you realize, oh, there's not a lot I know, and now there is so much more to learn. So knowing that you don't know in the beginning is a nice big shock to your system, after which your learning curve really jumps up. You will work with interesting modes of learning. So by interesting modes of learning, by till now you have mostly done submissions, maybe of assignments. They have been individual, and even if they have been group, somebody turns up, somebody doesn't turn up. Here you will be doing a lot of case study analysis. You'll be actually doing real analysis where you will go to company, find out their problems, talk to them, right? You will learn from the very best teachers. So the criteria for selecting faculty, the kind of backgrounds faculty come from, it is unparalleled. Correct? So you learn from the best teachers, you will reorient yourself. So abhi tak, when we have a certain image of who we are by the time we are 21, 22, right? Or even 25. When you get into your MBA and you see this crowd of people, you know that you do not know, right? You find out more things about yourself and all these interesting modes of learning, and you reorient yourself. This is a place where you can actually meet your future business partners, right? So when you say I'm networking with people, right, and you'll end up making good friends with people, some of these guys will be people with whom you will end up doing business, either within the same organization or so if you're supplying something, this guy may be your customer. So you end up making links not only personally but professionally as well. You will become very good at analyzing. So this is a big, big plus. So whether it is analyzing businesses, whether it is analyzing situations, right, whether it's analyzing what is going to happen if the price of oil goes down further, you will become very good at analysis. You'll become very good with data. And the best thing, guys, in this world right now, when things are really changing tremendously, and MBA equips you on handling change. Can you think of any other course that does that? How to manage change? No. MBA is the only course that says that if things change, these are the things that you could work on. How do you manage change? How do you manage change within an organization? What happens if your management team goes for a restructuring? There are actually courses that help you deal with such things, right? So MBA is the only course that prepares you, right? Helps you adapt to change. Then these are bigger advantages. You become good at communication. So guys, let me tell you, we think that to do well in a job, right, we need to be good at our work. Very true, you need to be good at your work. But if you actually go talk to your seniors, talk to people, promotion is determined mostly by how well you communicate. Communication is the backbone of your job, whether it is written, whether it is spoken. You need to ask your seniors, guys, they will give you the same feedback. So MBA is a 2-year course that makes you present a lot of times, right? That makes you debate with other people. It is a course that is keyed in to help you communicate better, right? Along with that, of course, it helps you manage people, it helps you manage teams. So team management as a player, as a leader, both ways, right? So sometimes you are leading the team, sometimes you're just one of the players in the team. In both these cases, right? An MBA helps you deal with both the situations. Good MBA colleges will have placement process that will get over in a week, within which you will meet some 50 to 100 very good placement companies, guys. So you'll be exposed to the best companies. They'll come, they'll present their company in front of you. You'll get to know their working culture. Where else do you have this luxury, right, of sitting back and letting the company present to you? Most of the times you hear about a company, you send your CV, you have to go and present yourself, right? Here the company is coming, it's talking in front of all of you and it's presenting itself. This is such a big advantage. Finally, you will work with what you do best. ऐसा नहीं है कि you decide कि शुरू में I want to get into finance, so you'll have to stick to finance. In the second year, you can change your specialization. You can change your specialization after passing out. So you always have this option of working with what you do best. Right? Now here are some cheap thrills. So cheap thrills are, thrills that don't have lasting impact like these, but still they are important advantages, right? So one is that if you see the CEO of all these big companies, they are all MBAs. So MBA से CEO का path is a path that is very, very common. I'm not saying every MBA will end up being a CEO, but it's unlikely you'll be a CEO if you're not an MBA. Right? There's the best return on investment. Whatever you will pay for your MBA, guys, you'll be able to recover it within 2 years. So it's the best return on investment. And this is monetary, right? The kind of time you'll invest, that will be repaid by the kind of networks that you'll make, right? You decide to get into which industry you want to go into, right? So whether it is luxury, whether it is social impact, whether you want to lead, right? So you have people in the government who are MBAs. So you decide which industry, you decide your position. So if you say that, okay, I love to lead people, then you can become a sales manager. If you feel I am good at working within a team, you can become a part of a project management team. So you decide your position in an organization as well. MBA allows you to work anywhere in the world, any city. You do your MBA from a good institute, guys, and the next feature will be on how to select institutes. That is what we are going to do next. So I hope to see you there also, right? So wherever you want to work, a good MBA ensures that the doors are open. Then campus living. Again, good college means you'll have campus living. And before you get into this whole work, family, marriage, this sort of freedom is so important, guys. I'm from Calcutta. Believe me, campus life makes a big difference. Right? And campus living may you can actually have an international campus also. So your current campuses, they're all redefined to look international, and they are international. At the same time, in exchange programs, you can actually go to an international campus. Right? You will have an international environment, big libraries, right? great colleges where you will have, you know, great presentation, technology, everything. So there's an international infrastructure behind it. You will be able to make international trips. This can be as a part of internship. This can be as a part of the exchange program. There will be a lot of parties. So it's a cheap thrill, but it's a thrill nevertheless, right? And finally, you become good at selling everything, including yourself. So all these things, I know they're slightly on the cheaper side, but still they are things that matter to us right now when we are in our 20s, right? So great. Here are some people that are MBAs. I'm sure some people you really know, so I don't want to talk about people that you really know. But here, for example, is Mani Ratnam, who's done his MBA from Jamnalal Bajaj, who has come out with great movies in Hindi also, in Tamil also, right? Here, for example, of course, Narendra Modi ji is our PM, right? Is not an MBA, but Amish Tripathi is. He's from Calcutta, right? All of these guys, Harsha Bogle, right? Mr. Harsha Bogle, he's from Ahmedabad. So they have done a degree in business. They have worked, right, a little bit. Some of them have worked a little bit before getting into the celebrity sphere. But you can see the diverse industries. Politics, Mr. Skindia, right? He's also done his MBA. So great, guys. I hope you'll enjoyed today's session.